Good evening. Welcome back to Dining 101. I'm your host, Mr. Wolfe. So tonight we've changed the venue a little bit. This is Webisode 7. We're going to talk all about wine service. So we find ourselves today in a wine cellar, and this is one of my clients' wine cellars where my services are available to help organize your wine cellar. Also, I'm available for special events. If you have a big wedding or an anniversary or birthday or graduation party coming up and you need help pairing wines with your menu, or vice versa, maybe you need help setting up a menu around wines you already have, Mr. Wolfe would be delighted to help you with that. So you can contact me via the website or Facebook, or now there's a blog up also, and all three of those will work, as well as Twitter. So without further ado, let's get into some wine service here. A little bit of background. I've been in the restaurant business for about 33 years, and I have to tell you, I think most diners, the most anxious part of the whole dining experience is the ordering and receiving of wine. It seems like most folks are comfortable rolling in, they can get themselves settled in, they can have a martini, they can order their food, consume their food, no problem. But a little anxiety happens when you're the host and you're expected to select wine for the table. This also happens, maybe you're not the host, but the host puts you in charge of picking out wines for the group. And it can be a little daunting. I've been in that predicament myself before, and it's a little tricky. So first off, a couple pointers. If you're in a large group, let's say you've got 8 or 9 or 10 folks, and they're all getting different dishes and whatnot, you might even be in an ethnic restaurant, I would suggest going with a Sauvignon Blanc for a white wine and a Pinot Noir for a red wine. Why? Because they're very versatile and they go with a lot of different dishes, especially if people are ordering different stuff off the menu, and even some ethnic dishes. So it's always nice to have a white and a red, and the waiter can go around and figure out who wants white and who wants red, or who wants both. So that's all I'm going to say on that. So picking out the wine, you've got the wine list, you've figured out the wine that you want to purchase, or maybe you've had the wine director or the waiter help you pick one. At any rate, you've made your selection. The waiter goes to wherever they need to go, God knows, and they find the wine, and they come back. I'm just going to give a real quick scenario on the whole drill so you know what to look forward to, and you also kind of know some little points on what's going on if you're in a really good restaurant or not. So here's our wine tonight. We're going to start with a white wine. I have a nice Chardonnay, and a good server or wine director will have a serviette or napkin behind the wine, and they're going to show the label first off. They'll be on your right-hand side, because that's where all beverage service occurs, is on the right. And they're going to repeat real briefly, it's the Acacia Chardonnay Carneros Vintage 2008. So they're just telling you the producer, the varietal, the appellation, and the vintage, just to make sure this is the correct wine you want. You know, at the last minute, oh, maybe you wanted the Pinot Noir, or maybe you wanted a different vintage, or maybe you were looking for a single vineyard. This is the chance to say, oh, gosh, that wasn't quite the wine I had in mind. And it's fine if you want to change your mind. We want to make sure that you're happy. So now's a great time to say, gosh, that's not really the one I was after. Let's try something else. No problem. We'll go to the cellar and be right back. If it is, just give them the nod to go ahead, and we're going to commence wine service. So at this juncture, the wine server will probably have some kind of fancy way of getting this serviette over on his arm, like so. They're going to keep the label facing towards you the entire time. And first thing they've got to get is the capsule off. So we'll take out our handy dandy wine opener of some sort. They'll probably put a cut in the front, like so. A little cut in the back, like so. Again, label's always facing towards the guest. And we've got to get that capsule off. Like so. That's garbage. It doesn't go on the table, doesn't go on the floor, you don't hand it to the host, and it will go in your pocket. And I'll go like so. You might need to wipe the top of the bottle there in case there's a little mold or some other foreign matter. But at any rate, if not, let's move ahead with the auger. We're going to go just slightly off center, straight down. Try to make it look effortless. This is also, if you're serving a wine at your house, you can practice this and impress your friends. Cork comes out, nice and gentle. No big pop, no big bang, no big fuss or muss. We're done with the wine opener, that can go away. The cork, there's two schools of thought. Proper sommelier service, you would present the cork Or a lot of restaurants nowadays don't even present the cork at all, because that's a good opportunity for you to embarrass yourself. You really don't want to smell the cork or really get too involved. You're just looking to make sure that Acacia is the right producer there, so if somebody didn't fill this up with jug wine and put a different cork in there, so you've established that. No weird mold, no crumbling cork, nothing like that. That's all you need to do with the cork, so that can go away at this point. The server will probably want to give a little wipe to the top there, and then they're going to have you try the wine or sample the wine. Label facing towards the host, so again, there's kind of towards the sky or towards the guest, a little half and half. That's something Mr. Michael Mondavi taught me, especially if it's a vintage wine and they want to show off their wine. And we're going to pour about ounce, ounce and a half. That's plenty. Come up, no drips. And again, just hold the wine to the host so they can verify. At this point, the host is going to try the wine. You've just got to do a quick sight. There's no foreign matter, no debris. You do a smell. Smells pretty good. You might want to do a little swirl. I recommend you leave it on the table. Just give it a couple of quick swirls to release the bouquet. Give it another quick little smell. It smells great. It smells like it's supposed to. It smells like wine. It smells like Chardonnay. I'm getting some apples and pears there. A little bit of citrus. If you get a little tiny whiff of wet cardboard or wet newspaper or anything else funky, vinegar or wet dog, wet horse blanket, anything like that, it probably means you had a bad cork or it could be a bad wine. We need to get a different bottle. And don't be shy to send it back because cork wine happens all the time. But you've tried the wine, smells fine, think your guests are going to enjoy it, and at this point the server will go around in a clockwise fashion, pour everybody a good nice 2 or 3 ounces or so, come around the table, and then finish off by filling your glass with the same 2 or 3 ounces. Everybody should be pretty level. You know, if it's a dinner party, you're trying to get around 10, 11, 12 people, just pour everybody a little bit so you can make it all the way around. Now the wine will go either on the table or in an ice bucket. Either way is fine, depends on how cold you like your wine. But if it does go on the table, it needs to have a coaster of some sort. The wine bottle is never actually supposed to touch the table. So it can be a fancy coaster or it can be a not fancy one at all. So we'll put that on the coaster like so. And coming back to wine service real quick, again, you're at a dinner party. Some people are going to drink more than others. Maybe some folks are driving, maybe some folks don't really drink at all, but they kind of want to feel included. So I suggest just pouring a little bit, 2 or 3 ounces out around on that first initial pouring, and then you'll get a good idea of who's drinking more after that. And that is pretty much it. So everybody can enjoy the wine. Let's say you've consumed that entire bottle and you want to have another bottle of the same. A good waiter will bring you what's called a tasting glass or a fresh glass on the side, and they'll do the same exact service as they did on the first one. Pour a little wine in there for you to try, and once you've decided it's fine, it's consistent with the last bottle, then they'll just pour around in the same glasses you had before. So no big deal there. Just put it forward. So I think that's it for this week. If you have any questions or concerns or comments especially, by all means, you can post them on the blog, you can post them on the website, or you can post them on Facebook. But I'm really eager to have some feedback, see how you folks are enjoying the webisodes. I also want to get some, if you have ideas or things you want me to cover, by all means, let me know. And if you have even questions on other etiquette, not even related to dining, I'll field those questions as well. So serviette will go back in your pocket. It doesn't just get flung in the side station or anything like that. And dining commences. So again, I want to thank you for joining us this week on Dining 101 with Mr. Wolfe. Dine well, dine right.